All right, so obviously, let's see. The turtles, they have a heroine. They have their April O'Neil, their best friend who lives up above the sewers. So we need someone.
Her name is August O. Jones.
Okay.
And she just recently moved to the city from the real world. Like, from the modern day, she moved to the city because, what does she do? What's her occupation?
It's like, what if let's see, she has to be badass, so what if we gave her something like along the lines of what if it was like Chun-Li? What if we made it's like she can do all these cool spin moves like Chun-Li, but she's also, April O'Neil was a reporter.
Yeah.
So what would be similar to a reporter?
She runs a news blog.
She's a blogger. There we go.
Yep.
So should we make her like a hipster?
A cool-looking hipster, definitely.
Okay. All right, now please tell me what that looks like.
Okay, so in my opinion, like a cool hipster, somewhat looks like a hipster, but they actually have but they don't give off the aura of a hipster. Like, she'll wear like the checkered fedora. She'll wear the vest or so checkered fedora.
Mm-hmm.
She'll wear like a button-up shirt untucked with like a tie on it and jeans, and we'll say like Converse. That's like the most simple hipster but kind of cool looking hipster that I can think of.
With Converse, let's see, but she's like Chun-Li, so we have to give her those. If she's like Chun-Li, if this is girls like our Chun-Li, she has to have those froofy shoulder pads that Chun-Li sports, right?
Yeah, or we can give her I think it somewhat looks like a dress portion that looks like Chun-Li wears on her. I like the foofy shoulders because again, it kind of fits with the hipster aesthetic.
It's like Chun-Li. I was doing it before her.
Yeah, exactly. Wait. Does she also have like the typical stereotypical hipster one fingerless biker glove on one hand?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That one can be holding like her phone. Oh, and she has. Jeez, now that I'm going into full thought of this, she also has the over-the-shoulder bag, across the body bag. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, she's heard all about the city trapped in the 80s, and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna go there and blog about it. And, people are amazed at all this technology she has. She got, this awesome apartment just because of her technology. They're like, oh, you must be from the future. Let us give you our best apartment.
Well, I would think if they were trapped in the 80s, what if new technology was actually illegal and Be My Son was actually trying to keep the new technology out of the city. He's trying to keep that city trapped in time.
Okay, yeah. I mean, he's trying to do that because, he's like, well, the 80s were a simpler time to be a parent, so I want to keep this place trapped in the 80s. Were the 80s a simpler time to be a parent? I wonder.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the 90s were.
Fair enough. You just plop the kid down in front of a cartoon like this and you're good.
Yeah. The way I was raised was my parents were a little more... My parents let me watch stuff that my friends were actually not allowed to watch. Like, one of them was, The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah. My sister still holds a grudge against that. I could watch The Simpsons before she could.
My friends were not allowed to watch The Simpsons, but my parents let me. Because, and mind you, my parents were strict with me about what I could and couldn't watch. But they would watch, but when they turned The Simpsons on, they would be like, there's nothing really wrong about it.
I mean, let's also be fair here. The Mask, the animated series for The Mask, was 100 times worse. In terms of what the content was.
Oh, you mean the one based off the Jim Carrey movie with Rob Paulsen? You know what's funny? I actually got to meet Rob. When I met Rob Paulsen, I asked him about that. I said, are we ever going to get The Mask on DVD? Are we ever going to get that show on DVD? And he
What
goes,
did he say about that?
he said, I don't know, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it on DVD because, like, that was honestly one of my favorite cartoons growing up. Like,
Oh yeah.
all my friends talk about, anyone I talk to, like the kids, they'll tell you, oh, Batman Beyond the series. They'll tell you Animaniacs. They'll tell you Power Rangers. I was always a fan of the more obscure ones, it seems. Like, I was more fans. Like, does anyone remember that? Or does anyone remember Vampires, I think it was called? Or Vampires?
Oh, I remember you mentioning that one.
Do you know what that show was?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I swear to God I'm not making this up. It's probably more ridiculous than anything we have come up with so far for this show.
I don't know. Be My Dad is pretty out there.
Okay,
Be My Son is pretty out there.
Alright, so one day, fuck this on. One day,
you could have her holding the strap to her bag or something.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Sorry.
What was it? No, so one day, a meteorite came crashing down to Earth, and it turned these cars that were in a junkyard into vampires, essentially, that feed off fuel. But it also somehow turned these kids, they were hiding in the cars to avoid the crash, it turned them into cars too. Somehow. The meteorite fused the kids into the car, and now they fight, and they have to fight these vampires.
This is weird, and again, this is coming from someone who grew up with stuff like Street Sharks. If we're going on a roll like that, one of my personal favorite shows growing up, personal favorite one that most people are like, it was always a tie between this one and Gargoyles that people ever liked. And Gargoyles, for what it's worth, while it is a spectacular cartoon, I will never mock that. It won, the whole, battle of which one's better thing.
Mm-hmm.
But Mummies Alive.
Wow, so, that's a show I haven't heard of. I haven't heard of in a long time.
Yeah. So, and just for those unaware of this, so the premise is this. An ancient sorcerer, the ancient advisor of a pharaoh, seeks to gain immortality, as most advisors do. And by doing so, he kills the pharaoh's son and the elite guard for the pharaoh's son. But because it happened in the desert, and they actually played really well with Egyptian mythos with this, they cannot find the prince's body. And so the prince's spirit is doomed to wander the earth until it is reincarnated. That's amazing right there. Now, the vizier, advisor, whatever, he is immortal now. Unfortunately, he didn't gain the eternal youth part. So it then flash forwards to modern day, 1998. And, we meet a boy named Presley. He, he's the reincarnation of the pharaoh's son. The villain, has tracked him down, and, in a museum, like that his mom's doing, it's a giant, Egyptian exhibit, which becomes a giant plot point throughout most of the series, is no, we can't get rid of the exhibit, it's too good. It's just seriously, this is where we're going with this one? So he captures him, and then all of a sudden, the boy's guardians wake up, and they scream, "With the strength of Ra!" And they gain, this cool battle armor and everything. There's the leader who takes after, named Jakal, who takes after Horus, and all this stuff. And, there's just so many cool things. They use, the Golden Gate Bridge to summon ancient gods or beings from I'm going to just call it the astral plane of Egypt. That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
Again, this is one of the reasons why I miss Saturday morning cartoons, because I feel like cartoons nowadays
They don't have this
not to completely
plot.
not to completely bash all cartoons. There are some cartoons I'm really enjoying. There are some. Let's see. I've been enjoying. Was it Star versus Forces Evil? Even though that's now ended, it's canceled. I have been enjoying.
Canceled?
It ended. That's what happened. It didn't get canceled like it's over. Like not many people watching. It was just it just ended. The story ended, which
it ran its course.
Yes. Which was like, the norm for a lot of Saturday morning cartoons was they only like if a show lasted 3 seasons, that was a rarity, it seems.
Oh yeah. Thank God we have this one contracted to at least 12.
Oh yes, 12 seasons. I mean, with a brand like Street Fighters plus Ninja Turtles, I mean, come on, how can this not take off? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see. And we said she has ponytails, or she...
I said a ponytail.
Oh, a ponytail. Okay.
But I like the bangs that you have coming down. I like that more.
I feel like it was a little more it's a little more Japanese Asian. But I could still give her like a ponytail or a thing in the back.
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
So at least she has that. At least she's going to be... Keep it right there. So let's see. And so there's Chun-Li. She has the fingerless gloves, so I'm gonna make sure that looks like that. The fingerless gloves.
Oh god, when you color this, it's gonna look amazing.
Wait until it's like a lot more when I go into more like finalization and such about it. Let me just fix something. Because I just wanted to look more. Because I just wanted to look more like badass, like an actual. Did ever? God, it's been like so long since I've actually seen the original Turtles. Like they would always talk about the Turtles, and did they ever like actually get broadcasted? The Turtles, or am I crazy?
No, they did. They had like numerous different seasons with the Turtles. Different series. TMNT was the one that lasted a little bit longer than it should have.
I think the only reason I forget is because I'm so used to seeing the news shows where they're all about secrecy. We can't let anyone know that we exist at all. But I remember there was one episode. It was not the current one and not the one before it. It was the other one. It was on 4Kids. There was it was actually one of my favorite. It was actually probably one of my favorite Ninja Turtles series.
Was this when they were in the future?
That was one of the seasons. Fast forward.
Yes,
that was one of the
TMNT. That one was great.
That one was one of the seasons. But there was an episode where they talked about how Halloween was their favorite holiday because they could act. That was the first time they could actually go walking out in public.
Oh yeah.
No, it was a great. It was one of my favorite shows, and then I remember they announced a new one, and people dissed the artwork for it mainly because it was computer generated. That's another thing I miss about Saturday morning cartoons. There was actually. Even the ones that looked low quality, they still had a charm to them because it was all hand-drawn animation. It wasn't like this cheap special. It wasn't like the cheap CGI that we see nowadays.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, some of it looked fine. Don't get me wrong, but
oh yeah, but I mean, to date myself here, you look at CGI today. Yes, it's come a long way, but for some reason, Reboot and Beast Wars still look better than some of the things today.
The only other real CGI cartoon I can think of off the top of my head that I really enjoyed was Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, and I hear that show getting a lot of flack, and I'm like, look, this was early Nickelodeon when Nickelodeon actually understood the power of its properties.
Why does Jimmy Neutron get flacked? If any, the only thing
mostly
about Jimmy Neutron,
the animation style.
I love how she just has. I love how she looks like a hipster almost, and then she has these Poofies.
Yes. The eyebrows might be a little too thick. I don't know. Do you like them or?
Yeah, I can. Here. Maybe just my pen. How's that?
Oh yeah, that's better. I think it was just because it was also part of the line for the eye that it just looked a little too thick. So no, that looks perfectly fine. Not trying to, force a standard of beauty. It's just one of those weird aesthetic things for me.
What, they can't have some thick eyebrows? What if that's her what's that? What if that's her mutant gene? Is her fucking eyebrows get so huge that
she's a hipster and a blogger. I don't think the mutant gene is going to be effective on her.
No, her eyebrows become. No, think about it. Think about it right now. Watch this. Ready? Think about this. Bear with me on this, because this is our show. Her eyebrows. This is an artist's rendition of what I'm thinking that's running through my head. It's just so she'll make a blog, right? And then maybe someone gives her like a bad rating on it. Says like, "Oh, the writing is derivative, is that shit." She gets so fucking angry that her fucking that her eyebrows get so massive. They get bulky and muscly. They form fucking hands.
Oh god.
And then she just starts wailing the shit out of the guy.
Oh god, I love it. I love it.
Think about
I hate it, and I hate it because I love it.
Like she goes to attack father, he goes like, Jesus Christ.
Yes. Now, to be fair, not everyone in the city is mutants. This is just called the power of the 80s that only affects certain people who enter this place.
I see you have the 80 gene.
Yes! But she only has it because she's a hipster.
Okay, so that's what it is. They have the 80s gene, and that's what's giving everyone their powers.
Sorry, boss, we're adding an X-Men to this.
Look, as long as
that's not a bad combination.
Look, as long as this sells, as long as this whole idea sells, we'll be fine.
Yeah. Oh, you forgot her tie. Unless you want to go for more of the...
Wait, hang on. She's kind of wearing like a sweat. She's almost I almost gave her like a hipster vest too.
Oh, okay.
So hang on. It was easy. All I had to do was just lower the thing. But yeah, that would be pretty much look, daughter, we even match! How can you say you and I are not alike?
Oh god, what if like the big...
You ate my pet rabbit in a soup. I don't even cook the food. I'm not going there saying, listen, massacre these rabbits.
Well, that turns out to be like the season 1, spoil finale is that we find out that she's actually B. Myson's daughter. Like the actual daughter. Yes. And it's like I gotta fight against my dad's total, his evil ways. Maybe because he's such a douchebag about it. Also, when he tries to be cool, puppies die. Aww. Or is that her saying that?
That's her saying. No, that's her saying that. That's not me. That's just her saying it's like, Dad, when you try to be cool, puppies die. Well, it's
the puppies.
Well, it's like, I'm hip. I'm funky fresh. Come, daughter, let's sit together, watch the M music television that you children love so much.
Dad, it's the late 2000s and MTV is terrible now.
Nonsense. I hear there's this guy whose name is Snoop Dogg, I believe. It's like, oh, it must be another mutagen puppy. Like an 80s dog with a mutant power.
Oh, Lord.
Alright. So, here's our April O'Neil, or we need
August O. Jones.
August O. Jones with her Crocs. Looking like a hipster, with her funky fresh beanie and her cell phone. reporting on all the bad shit that her father's doing.
Uh-huh. And when she goes to visit her mom out of town, that's when she posts everything. Okay.
At some point, people start visiting the town, from the 2000s, and it's literally people from the 2000s versus the 80s.
Yes.
And that's when the Turtles have to team up with Be My Son. It's like, listen, we need to get these people out of here. They're ruining everything. I don't even know what this social media thing is, but I hate it.
Yes. Oh God, yes. And even August is like, yeah, these people need to go. As much as I hate the 80s, they don't belong here.
So what's this? You still use cars? Back to the Future lied to me.
Yeah. Okay, so you ready for the teacher?
Yes, we are ready for the teach.
Okay. So this one, my friend and I had a lot of fun with. Because we went, instead of going for more, because I was asking for some ideas to help me with it, we decided to go in the Street Fighter direction, because we went with the Turtles, more of the Turtles in one, Street Fighter in another, more of the Turtles in one, so we rounded it back to Street Fighter.
Yes.
So their teacher only goes by titles, like the Grandmaster, or Sensei, or the Grand Poobah, like names that sound important, alright?
And by season 13, we just totally ran out of titles. It goes, that guy who did that really cool thing at Starbucks one time.
Exactly. And you know why that fits? Because this guy is the Dan Hibiki of the series.
The Dan Hibiki?
Yes. And you know who he is, right?
Dan Hibiki.
Like the guy who can't fight well at all, who can't do anything.
Oh, okay, yes, I know who we're talking about. Yes, I know exactly who we're talking about. The one who thinks he can fight but he can't.
Yes.
Wait, so he's the Yamcha of the series.
No, Yamcha could kick Dan Hibiki's ass. Let's be fair.
Okay.
Yamcha actually has some good training.
So is his master going to be? Is his master an animal? Is he still an animal or is it not?
No, he's definitely a person, mainly because and this is going to be where the whole fun thing starts with him, because he constantly he's a guy in a furry suit.
Like a weird horrible Chuck E. Cheese ripoff costume.
Yes. And the reason why his name and appearance, and his appearance will always change, but the reason for this is because he has to avoid insurance claims and everything, and debt collectors. He has to avoid all of this, and the Turtles, being the child-minded beings that they slightly are, always fall for it.
I'm just trying to make him seem like he's going to be really competent in what he does, but even though we know he can't do shit.
Yes, exactly.
Hang on, so...
And the worst part about him, because, I want people to laugh at him being comic relief, but also have that hatred towards him slightly, he charges the Turtles for his lessons.
Wow.
Oh my god, yes, this is perfect.
You see what I'm thinking?
Yes, I am. This is better than what I thought of.
So I'm trying to give him a weird button.
Yes, oh my god.
You know what I'm... Oh, I'm like crying when I wake up. Oh my god. Oh, what are we doing?
We're making a Saturday morning cartoon, damn it.
Oh, boss, I hope this sells.
It better. Oh god. And just because she while August might be the token badass female who is not a damsel in distress, she does really care about the turtles because she realizes, like, they are somewhat child-minded.
Mm-hmm.
And she really, really hates this guy for taking advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, like, they'll pay and everything, and then, like, she'll watch them leave, and as he's counting the money, she'll just kick his ass and take the money, and then she'll, like, just put it back in, like, we'll say the jar that the turtles use to, like, save up their money to go get lessons, and she'll just put it back in there, so every time that they're paying, they're getting their money back.
She's secretly teaching the turtles how to actually be better fighters. And,
like that's one of the few things she and B. Myson agree on, is that, like, that's why he throws fights for them. That's why he does this, because it's like he's slowly trying to teach them, like, how to fight. Like, a dad, like, trying to teach their kid, like, how to defend themselves. But B. Myson has such a high criminal profile that he can't go after this jerk. Like, everyone will think that Be My Son is the true villain. And without a doubt he is. But he is not half as much of a villain as this guy.
Like, he sees him doing all the shady things ever, and he goes, and you see M. Bison going, and I'm the villain?
Yes, exactly. Oh, can you put, like, a patch or something on that suit? Like, it's been torn up or something?
Yes. Because that's what I was thinking. It's like, I wanted, like, the center to look like it was just quickly patched up together.
Oh, God. He uses Scotch tape to keep this on.
Oh yeah, use anything that keeps this crappy suit together, he'll use it.
Oh my God.
That's what I just love it. It's not a real rat, it's just a guy in a rat suit who cannot fight for shit.
And he's on the run from, like, debt collectors and creditors and everything. Like, seriously, they could go to the cops to learn this stuff, but they choose to go to a guy in a disgusting broken rat suit. Mm-hmm. Like, this is a city where, like, they'd be like, oh, cool, mutant turtles, this is awesome. But they still choose to hide in the shadows. Oh my God, I love this. This is disturbing and I love it.
Yeah, this is our master, everyone. This is the master of the turtles. This is the guy who's teaching them how to fight and failing miserably.
Oh, yeah. Like, even when they're fighting B. Myson, like, they'll do one of these moves and fail, but because he's, like, such a good dad, like, role model, he will actually pretend like it actually hit him and hurt him. Now, like I said, he doesn't have a name, just it's whatever happens to be. And how he hides himself is by putting different hats on this stupid costume.
Yes.
Like, unfortunately, these are the police of the 80s, where, like, the heroes have to be, like, the ones to save the day, and the cops can't. Well, no offense to cops, but...
No, these are 80s cops.
Yeah.
Anything was possible. And you know what else? This was also the time where you could put on just glasses, and all of a sudden, that was, like, hiding your secret identity. Like, even with the with the turtles, all they had to do was wear those trench coats, and somehow it worked.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just gonna
oh, I hate him and I want him to burn.
That's the point. So there is. Hang on, I'm gonna just want to add some little extra touches, little refinement.
Is one of them his tail being set on fire?
Like, how did that? I don't even know how that worked, but okay.
Well, you said you wanted to add stuff, but I'm just like, you mean like setting his tail on fire, maybe? Like, just to show how incompetent and unaware of life he is.
Great Sensei, you're on fire! Yes, I have fought well. No, you are literally on fire!
Huh? What did we do?
What did we do, my friend? We created the next best cartoon. We created something that will live on in Saturday mornings. It will be the next best thing. And and when we die, God's going to send us to hell for making this.
Dude, the devil's going to send us back to heaven because he doesn't want to deal with us.
Welcome to Oh, it's you. Oh.
Yeah, you get a free pass out. We were sent down here. I don't care. I don't want you here.
Yeah, so listen. I'm going to be a nice guy. I'm just going to bring you back to life because I don't want to deal with you.
Can we get our youth back? Sure, whatever you want. Just, I don't want you back here.
Just leave. Leave and never come back.
Well, I guess we got the devil's luck on our side now because he doesn't want to have to put up with us.
Yeah, but the bad news is we still got to deal with our asshole boss.
God damn, that mustache on that helmet is amazing. I will agree with you on that.
That is my favorite feature on him. That is my absolute favorite feature about that character.
I felt like I broke you when I described what he looked like. Oh my god. This is a thing. This is a thing, I guess.
Well, let's go take this to him.
Alrighty, wish us luck, everybody.
Until next time.
Till next time.